I mean, what y'all want to do? You want to start off with talking Ohio State, Texas? Big
We want to start off talking
about this Micah Parsons.
We'll talk about your boy.
That's the whole hour right there. Like,
I mean, it does have the whole hour kind of queued up to talk about it because it's a lot to talk about. You talked about Plex when you were talking about G, just, the hard work being rewarded. Jerry Jones proved that to be maybe not so accurate. I mean, the Green Bay Packers swooped in and they proved that hard work and doing it the right way does matter. But for Jerry Jones, it didn't seem to be the case here. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe this turned personal. He didn't want to do the guarantees. He didn't want to be the one owner that was had and had to deal with that David Mulugeta effect that seemingly he is spanking cats out here with doing contracts that are legendary contracts. And to allow Micah Parsons to leave based upon what I believe is purely an ego-driven move, it's a head-scratcher, but I'm going to turn it over to you guys and see what you guys have to say about it. How did you guys feel? How did you react to it when the news came down that he was indeed being traded to the Green Bay Packers?
Man, if we can I'm going to just start using different adjectives and terms. It was complete malpractice, if you ask me.
Dang.
Like, it really is. The NFL, this is what it's based on, and this is what it's about. And I'm putting myself in the chair of a general manager, a guy that's running a team, a guy that is proving myself and I can draft who I want to draft. Our goal is to draft a guy high in the first round, and it should be a badge of honor to pay him because I'm drafting the right guy. He's developing the right way. That shows that I'm doing a hell of a job at my job. We gonna draft a guy. He's on a trajectory to be in the Hall of Fame. 12 sacks every year since he's been in the league, and last year he missed, I believe, a handful of games. And then we trade him because we don't want to pay him? You didn't learn from Zach Martin, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. Man, I paid these guys a lot more than I would have had to pay them if I would have just paid them a little sooner. So now you're going to try to kick the can back another year and have Micah play on his fifth-year option. They played that game again, that game of blink. Who going to blink first? They thought Micah was going to cave in and blink. He didn't. And you trading for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Those first-round picks are going to be 27 to 32. The Packers are going far and far every year as long as Micah Parsons is on that team and hurt, and he's not hurt, and Jordan Love is not hurt, and he's playing. They're going. So you gave up Micah Parsons, a generational, on his way to the Hall of Fame pass rusher for Kenny Clark and 2 late first-round picks. What could you have gotten if you just opened up the bidding prior to the draft? Somebody that could help you. Oh, we're building for the future. Micah Parsons is the future. He's 26 years old.
He is the future.
Like, dude,
what
are you trying to gaslight us? Are you gaslighting us?
That's called rage baiting. That's a rage bait statement.
I just don't understand. They say quarterback is the most important position on the field. The next most important position is 1 or 2 guys, the receiver or the guy that can get to the quarterback. And you trade this guy. I just don't understand. But I will say this. And I could be wrong. When Micah Parsons is our age, he's going to wish he was a career Cowboy. I will say that. We don't look and think about those things when we're in it.
Why you say that? Why you think that?
Because I just look at the former Cowboys, and it's really 2 of them. Mike Irvin, Emmitt Smith. Man, you would think they still play for the Cowboys the way they're around the Cowboys, the way Jerry Jones treats them.
Well, and what Michael just said.
I don't see any other team treat their players that way. And so I believe when he's our age, because the Packers don't have an owner. I just feel like, yeah, you got your money. He'll sit back and reflect, and it's not going to be regret. It's just going to be like, I wish I could have played my – because that's special the way Mike Irvin can kind of move around the Cowboys like he's still a player. That doesn't happen everywhere.
He could do that here.
It doesn't.
He could do that here. He could do that in State College.
That's different. That's different.
I don't think
it's different because that's a college program. It's just a different vibe and feel.
You get a lot. I get everything done in my life that I get done because I'm a Penn State Nittany Lion, not because I was Washington Redskins.
I mean, but you love your school. Oh, my God, you love it.
Our community loves – they love us. You want to know why? Like, bro, y'all been around me. Y'all know me. Like, I'm a loyal dude. Like, I'm a if I love you type of dude. And I'm going to give you all I got. But that comes with a price. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an easy person. That comes with a price. So I'm just saying, the way this community loves on us, we all have the opportunity and the ability to be able to be embraced by it the way I am. I just lean into it because I'm just loyal that way. Like, we bang together, and we've been through some S. You know, y'all remember them dark age times, you know, the stuff that was going on, you know, and stuff like that. We had to stick together, you know what I mean? People was coming for us. We had to stick together. We just got closer. I'm saying they love Micah Parsons. They love our players like that here. Yeah. I'm not going down that lane. I'm not getting carried away with that as a player. As a player that's formerly, you know, of the game, sitting there like, man, I wish I could go back to Dallas and this, that, and the other. I'm coming back to State College. I don't even acknowledge my pro career. So he got 47 reasons yearly to remember why it didn't even matter to have that also, relationship
I'm sorry,
with
Plex,
Dallas.
I know you want to go. You said you don't acknowledge your pro career. Your pro career was somewhat cut short because of the injuries. Micah is on his way to the Hall of Fame.
True.
And so when you say that, Micah can go back to State College, but he can go back to his professional team, and they're going to treat him like he is a Michael Irvin because he's on his way towards that.
It's the exposure that guys get these days that's way different than what we had when we were playing, though. Like, yeah, if I was on the way to a Hall of Fame career, would things have been different? Maybe. I don't know. I was on the way to a Hall of Fame career. I mean, I wasn't doing bad. I hit 3 consecutive Pro Bowls. I was an all-pro. But it didn't feel the same. And this is one of them confirmation moments. Like, college is pure. I mean, maybe the NIL may change that, and it may become something different. But the pros is business, man. They treat it like business, and it's sad because they force the fans to treat it like business as well. Micah Parsons didn't want to leave Dallas. Micah Parsons should be in a situation where he had to work through what we're talking about right now, whether he finished as a Dallas Cowboy or had to go somewhere else. Jerry Jones did that. Jerry Jones made that possible because he didn't want to pay that man what he was worth getting in the market that we're in right now. I'm not going to sit here and say, dang, like, Micah, you would have been better off because of the way Jerry Jones treats his players and stuff like that if you had stayed with the Dallas Cowboys. He's cool with the dude from Fanatics. What's dude's name? What's his name? Mike Rubin. Dude is head of Bleacher Report, the Iron Mask or Iron Helmet, whatever. Micah Parsons is utilizing his celebrity. He's utilizing his intelligence, and he's doing some really, really strategically sound things and building proper relationships with the fame and the stardom that he's been able to create. Dallas served its purpose. If you ain't want to pay him and you want to let him go to another, which a legendary program, by the way, if you want to let him go, Jerry Jones got to live with the fact that Micah Parsons isn't a Dallas Cowboy anymore. Micah Parsons shouldn't have the pressure of trying to figure out if that was a bad move or if I'll regret not being a Cowboy for the rest of my career. Jerry Jones made that idiotic decision to make that a reality. And I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my goddamn chest. You know what I mean? Plex, how you feel about it, man? What's your take on what took place with this Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones deal that what happened?
Man, when I initially heard the news, man, it was just so much to unpack, and I was just saying to myself, from a organizational standpoint, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, remember we was on the show a couple weeks ago and I said to y'all, I said there's a great possibility that Micah Parsons has played his last game as a Dallas Cowboy because it never should have went this far. And I said it was personal. Pride, and it was personal because Jerry Jones had never, had an encounter with the player of Micah Parsons' intelligence. He knows exactly what the numbers are and knows exactly what he should be paid. And Jerry Jones is basically saying, listen, I know what you're worth, but you're not going to tell me when to pay you and what to pay you. So I kind of think that when that whole beef was going back and forth, Jerry Jones was not going to give Micah Parsons the personal gratification in front of the world to basically say, I won. So that's how this whole thing ended up with him going to Green Bay, because Micah Parsons is supposed to be a cornerstone of your franchise. He's never supposed to leave the Dallas Cowboys. And now he ends up in Green Bay. And it changes the division for everybody defensively. So if you're Dallas Cowboys, you're ranked 29th in the NFL in rush defense with a Micah Parsons. What do you think you're going to be this year? And they're going to open up against Philadelphia, and where Micah Parsons was playing at, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to run the ball to the right side, and they're going to run it down their throat just to prove a point. And you look at Micah Parsons, he says he's going to wear number 1 in Green Bay, and I believe it's for a reason. He's going to show Jerry Jones in the world that he is the best defensive player or defensive end, in this league. And it is, if you're Brian Schottenheimer, you're going into this season, and now that you realizing that you don't have a Micah Parsons, it changes so many things. The NFC now the NFC North has gotten that much more competitive just because now you have a Rashawn Gary, now you have a Micah Parsons bookends. And if Jordan Love can get to a place where being the next great young quarterback, the Green Bay Packers are contenders. I really believe that. And there were 2 trades in NFL history that never should have happened with the Green Bay Packers. The late, great Reggie White went to Green Bay. What did he do? He won a championship. My Hall of Fame boy, Charles Woodson, left the Oakland Raiders, went to Green Bay. What did he do? He won a championship. And it kind of has that kind of feel to it that if Green Bay can have one of these dominant defense, I think they have the youngest wide receiver core in all of football, and they can get Jordan Love to go out there and to play a great brand of football. The Green Bay Packers might be one of the sleeper teams in the NFC moving forward now that Micah Parsons is a part of this football team.
Well, here's what Jerry Jones, he had a few things to say about Michael Parsons and
right.
and
another
situation.
Disrespectful thing.
Right. Here's take a listen to some of what Jerry Jones had to say about the whole situation.
Gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. We not only do that, nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out. This gives us a better chance to be a better team than we have been the last several years since Micah's been here. Not any negative on Micah, but we're trying to get better. We're trying to stop the run and stay in the hunt.
Exactly.
What the hell is that man talking about, bro?
Man, I think there are some people in this world that when they speak, I think they believe that everything that they say, people really believe. Because there's no way that Jerry Jones can sit there in front of that microphone and lose one of the best young players in the world and now you're saying we're getting better as a football team.
we're on the road to
No,
getting
you're
better.
not. I don't care who you get in the draft for the next couple of years or whatever the case may be. I can almost guarantee you there will not be one player defensively that will be better than Micah Parsons going to the Dallas Cowboys, and now that he's in Green Bay. I highly doubt it.
Do y'all realize that Micah Parsons is the most elite player on Dallas's was the most elite player on Dallas's team? And you paid Dak Prescott, never been the most elite quarterback at his position, maybe not even top 3 at his position. You pay CeeDee Lamb, very well, like doing very well as a receiver, not the most elite receiver, has never been considered the most elite receiver at his position. Gets a deal. Micah Parsons, you cannot.
Well, you can't really say that because he led the league in receptions and I believe it was touchdowns.
He's not the most elite receiver in the league. See, if you say most elite receivers in the league, is CeeDee Lamb's name coming out your mouth in the first 2 to 3 players?
No. 5.
I mean, Justin Jefferson, the kid in
Jamar
Cincinnati.
Chase and Justin Jefferson. Those will be the first 2, however you do it.
And we don't need to go any further than that because the point I'm making is you can't go from 1 to 2 with Micah Parsons in the conversation. Not one player. Use T.J. Watt. Use Trey Hendrickson, which we could talk about how they screwed him.
Dude, it's T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons.
Myles Garrett.
Those 3 guys are the best pass rushers in the league, and then it's everybody else.
They're the best defenders in the league, and then there's everybody else. Now, I know Pat got Defensive Player of the Year and all that stuff, and that's great. I think that's a wonderful thing that a defensive back got the award. But if we're talking about dominance of a player, like when Aaron Donald was playing, we're talking about a guy that's on the level of what Aaron Donald was doing. We couldn't even you don't even compare Aaron Donald to a Reggie White or a LT. You know who you compare a Reggie White and a LT to? Micah Parsons. And that's not an opinion. That's just factual on what that man, his production has been since he's been in the league. So there is a very, very difficult conversation here. And that difficult conversation here is moving forward, how do you justify what accomplishment and production? They say this is a totally discriminate league. They discriminate on everything. From the time you get to the combine, they discriminate on your height. They discriminate on your weight. They discriminate on how fast you are, how strong you are, what you know on the grease board, how do you interview, where you come from. They discriminate on everything. And it is a production profession. He has checked off every single box, and yet this was the end result. That's a problem.
LaVar, Jerry Jones, we have 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. Well, I hope you can draft one of those guys that can be even comparable to Micah Parsons. That's what people
It doesn't happen.
Cowboy,
I think that's the point I'm trying to make. That doesn't happen.
Because you drafted Mozzie Smith, and you thought he was going to be the run stopper you needed in the first round. How'd that turn out?
There's no way you can – as good as Micah was coming out of college, and I know because I helped with the branding of who Micah Parsons is. That was a project. Thank you, Micah, for being who you are.
LaVar, let me ask you and Plaxico this. Where y'all got the Cowboys finishing in the division?
Bro, I don't.
They might be the worst team in the division.
Did you say might?
They are.
They are. They will be in the basement.
Yes, I agree.
I believe they finished last in the division. The Giants will be ahead of them.
They have them at what, 7 wins, 7.5 wins this year? I don't think they get 7 wins.
Me either.
I don't think they get 7 wins. I don't. I do not. Jeez. I do not. And how can you have any type, unless you're Dak Prescott, which the weight of the world is on his shoulder because the jury then came back in the courtroom on Dak Prescott, and they're going to give a verdict this year. They're going to give a verdict. He's got that weight on him. You got CeeDee Lamb, but what else do you have? Yeah, you ain't lying. What else do you have going on with this team other than Jerry Jones stealing all of the headlines?
No, and the crazy thing is you listen to what Jerry Jones says. He said, we're trying to get better, and we're trying to stop the run on defense. Well, you're at the bottom tier of the NFL with the Micah Parsons. So how do you expect to be better defensively, rushing the passer, or stopping the run without a Micah Parsons? The man's in denial. He has to be.
It doesn't make not one bit of sense. But, hey, the head coach, he had this to say. Like, Brian Schottenheimer had a few words. Let's take a listen to what Brian Schottenheimer had to say.
At the end of the day, it was unanimous. This is not something we came about. It wasn't something where it was like an overnight thing. We had talked about it. And at the end of the day, I think when you look at a football team, when you can potentially add up to 4 or 5 players and things like that, it gives you the ability to do some things. We were certainly excited about the addition of Kenny Clark. Nothing's changed. My goals haven't changed. Our team goals haven't changed. I hit the players on that today after I talked about, just the tough couple days, for all the guys, and it doesn't change. The standard is the standard.
They set him up.
Bunch of baloney.
They set him up.
That's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of baloney.
Brian Schottenheimer has been set up to take the fall. Can I throw this out at y'all? And we can possibly take this into the next segment. I asked Brady Quinn and Jonas Knox this during the week. Archie Manning, this is going to be one of the richest drafts in quarterbacks since probably when when like Bryce Young and all of them came out, right? It's going to be
it was the Joe Burrow.
Tua, yeah,
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, there we go. It's
that
like
draft.
that on that
LaVar
level,
Jackson.
right?
It's that draft. Jalen Hurts.
And they're deeming and they're anointing Arch Manning as the next coming of a Manning or a Brady. Like he's on that level, and they're playing right now. So we'll see what that's all about. But is there a chance this man is tanking the season and Brian Schottenheimer is in the crosshairs of we're going to get the coach we want and we're going to get the player that we want, all in a span of 2 to 3 years to build a championship team for the future? Is there a possibility that this man just told everybody that he's punting on the season by getting rid of Micah Parsons? It could have been said, no shade towards Brian Schottenheimer. Like I said, I have nothing but respect for B-Shot. But he gets the job the way he gets the job, and it just seemed curious that if you were going to go with Brian Schottenheimer, why would you not just stay with Mike McCarthy until you figure out if this is truly what you wanted to do versus letting a contract run out and, we're just going to go with Brian Schottenheimer. Seems like he's a sacrificial lamb. It seems like what Jerry Jones said when he hired Brian Schottenheimer was, pay attention, I'm about to tank. Now you get rid of Micah Parsons, you don't pay that money, and he's a rookie. He's coming off a rookie contract. You ain't saving no crazy dollars by doing that. But you get rid of Micah Parsons. Why would you ever, in your right mind, get rid of a player of that caliber and he's in his rookie contract? You got to be tanking.
Jerry Jones is a great businessman. And they say you never let your feelings make decisions for you. He was in his feelings when he did this. He was upset that Micah Parsons demanded a trade. He was upset that he felt he had a deal with Micah Parsons, and that deal was reneged on because my representation isn't a part of this deal, and you don't like that. You're trying to take advantage of him, and he's not allowing you to. You don't like that because you've always gotten your way. To me,
bingo.
If you're Arch Manning, do you want to play for the Cowboys?
No,
you don't. If the Mannings, Peyton Manning stayed 4 years of college, Eli Manning stayed 4 years of college. This is Arch Manning's first year starting. They're not hurting financially. I don't believe Arch Manning comes out. And if the Cowboys have the first pick and you're Arch Manning, why would you want to play for the Dallas Cowboys I was a Cowboy fan growing up. I would fight dudes over the Cowboys. Like, it was that crazy. I'm not a Cowboy fan anymore because I played in the league. I don't know why my mind is that. I'm not. I don't dislike them. But if you're a player coming out and you're Arch Manning, why would you want to play for the Cowboys? Why? As a quarterback. Because when you're a Manning, you want to win and compete for Super Bowls. The Cowboys have shown they can't do it, and they aren't willing to do what it takes to do it.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. we're going to get an update from Isaac Lowenkron. Maybe he could give us some breaking news on why this could happen and what the hell goes on from here and all that good stuff. But then we're going to come back and we're going to wrap this. Maybe we might even go in the second hour with it. I don't know. This is just one of the most insanely wild, ridiculous happenings that probably has ever happened in the National Football League. Fellas, all right, let's put a bow on this. Let's wrap this up. It could be coming across as a pile on Jerry Jones first hour of Up On Game. Our show is all about positivity and solutions and different things like that. Let's end it on a positive note. What are the positives that could possibly be taken away from what Jerry Jones has done? And obviously, what do we see as the positives for Micah Parsons going to Green Bay?
The positive can be one of those 4 first-round draft picks in the next 2 years. One of those guys can be Micah Parsons-like. if that isn't the case, then what you've done is crazy. Like, what you've done is completely wrong. What you've done is let your feelings make a decision that you shouldn't have made. And for Micah Parsons, you just got to be you. If you're you, you're going to get a minimum of 12 sacks. That's the floor for Parsons. I believe he's going to have a great season. I'm talking 15 to 20 sacks. That's what I believe he's going to do because he's on a mission. He's on a mission to prove that he should have been given the contract he wanted, and he's going to prove the Green Bay Packers right. But more importantly, he's going to prove himself right. But to me, if you can't draft a Micah Parsons-like player and you're the Cowboys, it's a failure.
You know what? I think the outlook for the Dallas Cowboys, going into this season, the most positive thing that you can hope for defensively is that you move up 1 or 2 slots from 29th to maybe 28th or 27th defensively. And that's pretty much the only positive.
Damn.
You can try to be the 3rd best team in the division and not finish last. So I think those are the positive things that you can look for. But if you're Micah Parsons, the positive of this is that, guess what? You get to play the Dallas Cowboys on Week 4 on Sunday Night Football.
Week 4, yes, you do.
In Texas. I think that's going to be fantastic to watch. This man probably destroy who they put in front of him. And for the Green Bay defense, they were already a top 10 defense. Now I think they're going to go to a top 5. They're playing in the best division in all of football. People forget the Green Bay Packers went 11-6 last year. The Lions 15-2 and Minnesota's 14-3. So this division is getting better. It's the best division of football. And it just might be that the Green Bay Packers may win this division and get into the playoffs. So I think that's the positive for him moving forward. He's wearing number 1 to send a message, not only to Jerry Jones, but the rest of the league, that y'all just sit back and watch the show, and I'm going to show y'all guys why I'm the best defensive end or rush in all of football.
For me, I feel like the win for Jerry Jones would be if he just came out and admitted that I didn't want to pay him the guaranteed money that he was asking for. I didn't want to pay it under the circumstances that were seemingly felt dictated to me. I think that would be a win because I almost feel as though he loses all credibility after a decision as egregious as this one, I don't see how you can justify it. And to put a coach in a position where he has to try to justify it, I don't feel like that's positive. To say my goals haven't changed, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem to make sense.
That's who he is, though.
Your goals have to change when you lose a player of Micah Parsons' caliber. So I don't know how it all ends, and I don't know how it all plays out. I know that Green Bay is a competitor, and we'll see if they're able to go far this season. And Micah's happy. 47 million reasons every year to be happy. But hey, we'll see how it all plays out.